All right, guys, we're leaving the mean streets of Marshfield. It is gonna be a warm one today. They're calling for a high of like 94. I mean, a lot of times here in Wisconsin, we don't even see 90s for any days in the summer. So pretty warm, pretty humid today. Dew point really high, so it's gonna be muggy. But I'm excited. I'm getting out to this new trail system. It's called Harrison Hills. It's up north of here, about an hour and 20 minutes. Kind of south of Rhinelander, and I heard it's supposed to be pretty good, maybe a bit more rugged and challenging than what I'm used to. And then Jack, by the way, Jack's not here today, so I'm going to be riding solo, and Jack is down in Florida with his mom and her side of the family on a vacation, so I'm going solo. It should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Some of you might know I grew up on a small dairy farm here in central Wisconsin, which back in those days when I was in high school and whatnot, they were very, very prevalent. But now, you know, you go around and most of those small dairy farms are gone. Like right over here, you know, here's an example of a larger one. And what's sad is how just that's all changed. You know, they call themselves, they might still even call themselves a family farm, but guys, things aren't what they used to be. A family farm, the family, the kids were helping out. You did the labor that was necessary to run that farm yourself. And now today, what you're seeing with like all these bigger farms around here is they're hiring illegal immigrants to do the work they don't want to do. And then they'll cry and say, well, Americans don't want to do that work. Not really. They don't want to pay what Americans would do that work for. So they're really kind of, you know, taking advantage of the system, and they're hiring these illegals for cheap wages, you know, and just doing it that way. And to me, that's not what farming and, you know, the American farmer was about. We're off the interstate, and I think I found where we're supposed to park. It says go 3/4 of a mile down here, and there's ATV trail parking. It looks like it rained here, guys, earlier today, so I don't know, you know, that's good and bad. Definitely will help keep the dust down, but that also means the trails could be muddy, and I don't like muddy trails. I'd much rather ride a drier trail. All right, guys, we'll go down here. It doesn't look like a whole lot of room, but we will get parked and see what happens. All right, guys, I'm here, got it parked. It's time to talk about the machine. Haven't even said anything about that yet. Now, you know me, I love the 80s, and I gotta have a time machine to get back there. So this is what we brought today. We got the 85 Honda 350X, and guys, I just picked this because I thought it was a good machine to do a trail ride that I had never done before, especially going solo, rather than bringing a two-stroke, you know, and having to deal with short range on fuel and mixing gas and oil and finding a source for that. You know, let's just go with a 4-stroke. It's got a bigger fuel tank on it. It's not so hard on fuel, and we'll see what happens. But let's get it off the truck. just take a look at this again. This is my 85 Honda ATC 350X. It's really about an original rider quality machine as you can find. And when I say rider quality that is nice, this would be it. You definitely aren't afraid to ride this thing, but because of, you know, it's not a showpiece, it's not a museum piece, but it's all there. I mean, everything's there. You got the toolbox, you got the skid plate, you got this black flap back here, which is broke off lots of these machines, probably more than the majority of them. And you know, the exhaust shields there, everything is on this bike, including the original tires. So I'm rocking tires from 40 years ago still on this machine. Original front tire actually still has pretty good tread, but you might say I'm putting a little faith in these tires going trail riding. The back ones don't have so much tread left, but I do know that the back ones, I had tubes put in them, so we should be good there. Like, there's definitely some cracking on this right here, but they have tubes. I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna trust it. It's fueled up with 91 octane, so we're gonna give it a go. All right guys, let's get this thing started. Like I said here guys, never been to this trail system before, so it's something new. We already saw quite a few side-by-sides go through, and some of you guys know how I feel about side-by-sides. I'm not a fan. It's, to me, it's not riding. And before you dirt bike guys get your panties all up in the wad, I'm not saying three-wheelers or four-wheelers are the only type of riding. Dirt bike guys, I'm with you. These big glorified golf carts with off-road tires that you, it's essentially a little truck you pull to the trails with your pickup truck. So yeah, I'm not a fan, but we're gonna go out there. Hopefully we'll see some other ATVs, probably not any three-wheelers, but let's see, who knows. But my guess is this is the only three-wheeler out there today. Like I said here guys, never been to this trail system before, so it's something new. We already saw quite a few side-by-sides go through, and some of you guys know how I feel about side-by-sides. I'm not a fan. It's, to me, it's not riding. And before you dirt bike guys get your panties all up in the wad, I'm not saying three-wheelers or four-wheelers are the only type of riding. Dirt bike guys, I'm with you. These big glorified golf carts with off-road tires that you, it's essentially a little truck you pull to the trails with your pickup truck. So guys, these trails were a little bit wet, but that kept the dust down. That's something we deal with whenever I go trail riding. It seems anywhere in Wisconsin is a lot of dust. And for the most part, for it being 90 plus degrees out and pretty humid, it didn't feel the worst because it was mostly cloudy, so that radiant heat from the sun really wasn't affecting me too bad. All right, let's check where we are on this map. Okay, we're right there. These trails are really pretty fun. I mean, coming up through here and a lot of different areas, there's just little whoops and little jumps and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I was getting big time air, but it's more than what you do on most trails. People always love to see a three-wheeler go by. So I'm taking a little break here from the trail. That was fun. I'll be honest with you. That was pretty fun. Actually getting some air in some spots and stuff. I think I had a little trouble with when the camera was on and when it was off, but hopefully I caught some of that. But a couple things I'm noticing so far is the trail conditions are wet and I'm getting muddy, but the rear tires, with that limited tread remaining on there, not the best for these conditions. If it was drier, it would be better, because I'm sliding around a little bit, so I'm not getting quite as aggressive as I normally would ride, for safety reasons mainly, because I just sliding around a little bit too much for me, and I don't need to go plowing into a tree. And then that front tire, that front end, when I'm going over some of those little jumps and whoops and stuff, the suspension is bottoming out pretty hard each time. I mean, it is a 40-year-old machine. Maybe the springs are a little bit weak. But anyway, we're here at a nice scenic spot. I'm gonna walk down here. There's a little lake down here. So check it out, guys. Just a small lake right out here off the trail. The water don't feel that bad. if I had a change of clothes, but I don't. I might jump in there. When I'm riding this thing out here like this, guys, it really does take me back. I mean, it takes me back to a time long ago. Like I said, that's a 40-year-old machine. That thing was built in 1985. And, you know, it's crazy how time has flown by so fast. And it just continues to go faster and faster. You know, I'd love to have Jack here today. Right now, you know, like I said, he's on vacation, but he'll still do some riding with me. But, you know, when you get to be that age, you start developing your own routines, your own lifestyle, and naturally you want to be around your friends a little bit more. And sadly, not too many kids are doing stuff like this anymore, riding like this. So I don't believe any of his friends do. So when we go, it's me and him. But really, guys, that time goes by so fast, so fast. I mean, I would go back to the 80s in a heartbeat if I could. Such a much simpler time and a better time. Trail map, I started right down here. So I'm already way up to here. That's that little lake that we just looked at. So I think I'm gonna keep to the left, like I said, go up here, and then we'll just kind of keep going up this way. Some point, I don't know if I'll go all the way back around, come like that. I definitely probably should get gas somewhere, and I think there's a town up here which I may have to go way up there to get gas. It's time to start looking for some gas and getting something to eat. If you're looking for a place to ride in Wisconsin, I definitely recommend these trails, guys, if you're on some sport ATVs, quads, or three-wheelers. Alright guys, I made it to a place called Nut Z's. Okay, I'm hoping to get some gas here. I think it showed on the map that they have gas. I just want to be sure I don't run out. And then maybe get something to eat in there. A little hungry, a little thirsty. I'm dirty, but the old 350X is performing well. Yeah, she's very dirty. I'm probably close to halfway, kind of doing the loop that I was gonna do. Everybody likes my three-wheeler.
That's yours?
Yes.
That's a nice rig, man.
Yeah.
I got seller's remorse, man. I had a 85 250R.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, 85 250R.
I had an 85 250R. Worst seller's remorse ever in my life.
I have a 86 250R,
right.
and I kept that. Actually, I have probably a model of every make of anything from the 80s.
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What, you got a YZ or the Tri-Z?
I got the
Ducati.
I got the Ducati, got the 86 Ducati, got the 86 Tri-Z.
Nice.
I got the Quadzilla.
Nice.
I got the Quad Racer, everything.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
So what do you guys got over here?
We're just we're running for a benefit run today.
Oh, okay.
So we got a mix of some side-by-sides, mix of some ATVs.
Yep. That's cool.
Just out for a day, man.
Yeah. I'm just out here riding this thing solo, so I'm all by myself.
Hey, come ride with us, man. We got a poker run going on.
Do ya? All right, guys, we're kind of coming up to the home stretch, but we got a pretty cool hill coming up here, so let's go. And oh yeah, guys, this was a fun hill climb. In fact, I turned around and I did it like 3 times total. And by the way, that headlight you see out on the 350X, when I got home I checked it out, it was simply a loose connection. Well, it's time to hang it up for the day. I was out on these trails for a good 4 hours, so it was a good day, good time. I highly recommend it. All right, guys, the trail ride's over. I'm back. I'm a little bit muddy. I'm a little bit wet. It's all right. I lived through it. The 350X, it's muddy, it's dirty. I got to get that thing washed up, cleaned up, but it performed flawlessly. Went off without a hitch. 40-year-old machine, and it really performed well. So I can't complain at all. Just probably need some new tires on the rear if I'm going to do this again. Guys, I thank you for watching. I had fun. I'm a little tired. Not sore, but tired. I'll sleep good tonight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking a little trip with me back into the 80s again. Guys, have a great week. And remember, real men don't drive side-by-sides. And then, of course, buy some maple syrup. And remember, always keep it real.